McCaul of Texas. He is the top Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to see you. So this morning you were briefed by National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. Are you satisfied with what you're hearing from this administration, and do you think an attack is indeed imminent?
Well, I did get the sense that time is running out for diplomacy. He did mention that Foreign Minister Lavrov had talked about more time. Of course, we always want the diplomats to talk, but the rhetoric is one thing and the action is another. 130,000 Russian troops are now surrounding Ukraine like a noose, and they're in very frontal attack positions. And the tanks are there and the planes are doing joint exercises. We hear this February 16th date floated around, or after the Olympics. One thing is certain. Putin knows this may be his one chance to take back Ukraine. He has weakened NATO, and he wants the Black Sea for energy. I'm falling less and less optimistic we can reach an agreement. We haven't had proper deterrence, in my judgment. And I think Putin has made his calculation. And one thing, interestingly, too, Jake, is that as we see Putin, he's surrounding himself with a small group of his traditional hawks that want to go to war and want to invade Ukraine.
You just made reference to the February 16th, the Wednesday day. A U.S. official told the Associated Press that they thought that might be the day that Putin orders the invasion into Ukraine. Earlier today, President Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, kind of made fun of that idea, talking about it being a holiday, not taking it very seriously. Have you heard that from any sort of reliable source, that Wednesday might actually be the day of a potential invasion?
There has been some reporting about this date, although I wouldn't, I think it's only up to Putin when he decides to do this. Now he's fully prepared to invade, and it's been building since last March, and almost for a year now, and we've done little to nothing to stop it. And so I do think it's more imminent. I do think the decision will be made, soon. We have had intelligence on specific plans in a very aggressive timetable that starts really right now. And so I think we're in that window, as Jake Sullivan talks about, where he can strike. And it would happen very quickly, Jake. It would be a massive cyber attack taking down all the infrastructure, followed by the tanks rolling in, and then the planes. It would probably only last 48 to 72 hours.
Yeah, CNN's Jim Sciutto talked to a senior U.S. official who'd been briefed on the intelligence, and that official said that Russia's plan seemed to be to invade Ukraine for multiple points, including the beginning of a barrage of missiles and bomb attacks. Then they would encircle the capital of Kyiv on the ground with troops. Is that consistent with what you've been hearing as well?
Right. There are three major areas. One is just north of Kyiv by about 60 miles, where they're doing Belarus joint exercises. There is on the Donbass region on the east side, and then, of course, around Crimea, where the Black Sea is. They would all converge. I think they would go to Kyiv, maybe try to pull off some political coup. The false flag operation, I think it was masterful to divulge that classified space to let people know they were going to try to go under false pretenses, not unlike what Hitler did when he invaded Poland. And so, look, they're surrounding Ukraine, and I don't see a whole lot of deterrence to stop it at this point. And then the question is going to be what happens after. And I think it's going to be a resistance movement, and Congress and the administration will be looking at heavy sanctions on Russia.
Biden spent 62 minutes talking to Putin over the weekend. There was no real breakthrough, we're told, by the White House. At this point, hours or just days before a supposed attack, do you still think that imposing severe sanctions right now would stop this attack?
It may be too little too late, Jake, but, I've been sounding the alarm on this for months. And, the thing is, if you don't have any deterrence, he will take advantage of it. I think the sanctions should have been put in place to deter bad behavior. He has been provocative. He has built up his military, around Ukraine, and taken very aggressive actions with no real cost at hand. I just hope the administration, if the invasion does take place, will keep their word about these sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. We asked Jake Sullivan about that today. He assured us that would happen. But if there's a presidential waiver, I worry the president could waive it again.
Congressman Mike McCaul, Republican of Texas, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Why would Vladimir Putin line up 130,000 troops on the border with Ukraine if he did not plan to invade? We'll discuss his other possible motives next. Plus, what are Olympic athletes' favorite Chinese foods? How many dumplings are they eating? Forget doping or censorship. Those are the questions being asked by Chinese government news media. That's ahead as we go behind China's wall.